Hey ladies, this week for our daily videos, we're going to be talking all about being a homemaker, a keeper at home, and what a wonderful place that is to be. So I'm going to go out and do my walk with the hubby, and then I'm going to share with you guys today the top reasons why I love being a homemaker. So come with me.
While another one closes. That's how it always goes. One heart's breaking while another one is mending. It's all in the ebb and flow. If I had to, I could go it alone, but I don't ever need to, because I have a home, somewhere to run to. I could live alone in the woods, not a single sound, but I would never feel alone, because you've become my home. These windows could shatter to the ground, these walls could fall right down, the lights could all burn out, because this house is not my home. Crumble into dust, I don't need that much, I don't need to roam, because you've become my home. One step forward follows one step backwards. That's what it takes to grow. One life left is another that's just starting, and that's just the way it goes. If I had to, I could go it alone, but I don't ever need to, because I have a home, someone to run to. I could live alone in the woods, not a single sound, but I would never feel alone, because you've become my home. These windows could shatter to the ground, these walls could fall right down, the lights could all burn out, because this house is not my home. Crumble into dust, I don't need that much, and I don't need to roam, because you've become my home.
So we're talking all about homemakery type stuff this week. Of course, we've been putting out videos every single day. You guys, it's been so much fun this year, kind of challenging ourselves to just continue sharing and putting content out there. So I'm so glad you guys are here to hang out with us. And I thought this week it just would be great, right, to talk about homemaker stuff, because it is something that I'm so passionate about, right? Heavenly minded home, homemaker, homeschool, home discipleship, all of it. And so thinking about this, there's really 5 things that stood out to me that are just my favorite, right? I just absolutely love these things about being a keeper at home, being a homemaker. And a little bit of backup here for you. I didn't grow up thinking any of this. I found myself married and with a child at 17 years old. We got our first apartment. We literally moved into our first place for both of us, first time on our own, on my 18th birthday. We got this apartment, and I did work for a while. I worked literally up until the day I went to the hospital to have our son. I stayed at home for the first few months that I had maternity leave, but then I went back to working. I did that for a handful of months before I found myself in a position where I was just at home. And then I stayed at home for the first, like year-ish of our son's life before going back to work. And so I continued to do that for the next, decade of working and trying to balance all of the things, from part-time jobs, full-time jobs, working in the home, being a business owner. I mean, literally every combination thereof. And so I've been on that side of it, right? I've done all the things. I haven't always felt this way and understood what it meant to be a homemaker, to be a keeper at home. I didn't understand the benefit for myself, for my husband, for my children. I certainly, in all of this, did not understand at all biblically how to approach this topic. And I think that's why all of this is really something that I'm just so passionate about now. We have our HMH Collective. That's our membership group here on YouTube. So you see the little blue join button. When you come over there, right now, we're doing a spring refresh where we're doing a really fun month-long challenge of reading the entire Bible in 30 days and working on deep cleaning tasks around our house. So if you guys want to learn more about and come join us, you can check that out up there. But we do biblical womanhood every summer, and that has been so phenomenal. When you sign up for the collective, you can access all the series we've done before. And so you can go over there and pull up biblical womanhood and really dig in for yourself and look at scripture and say, wow, what is God's will and design for my life? He doesn't talk in obscurities, right? It's all here. You can pull that up and really go through and dig through this topic. So that's why I love doing all of this stuff. So all of that being said, these would be my top 5, absolute top of the top reasons why I love being a homemaker. Reason number 1 would be I want to enjoy my time with my kids. Oh my goodness, I think back to all the years that I was so focused on career and life goals and all of the things that I thought were the good things to be doing, and all the years that I missed out being present with my kids. And I mean, our kids now range in ages from 5 to 18, and just thinking about how quickly those years go by. You just blink and they're gone. And I go, what was I so focused on? What was I so worried about? What was I thinking I so needed to be doing that I've missed out on all of that? It went by so quickly. I wasn't present. I wasn't really there. And not that I get this perfect all the time. Even us, when we were business owners, we thought, okay, if we work from home and we're business owners, that will make us more present. But even that didn't really do it, because we were so focused on growing our business and doing this and doing that. And not that we can't find a healthy balance of the two, but a reason why I love being a homemaker is that I get to be with my kids every single day. I love being with my kids. I love being a mom. I love building our relationships. I love doing things with them, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I think of it now and I go, what's the point of having kids if you're never with them, right? They're always off at school, you're off at work, and there's times and seasons when things happen, and I get it, but I want to be with my kids as much as I possibly can. So for me, that's reason number 1. Number 2 for me, it would be when I'm a homemaker, that means that my time is my own. Oh my goodness, the difference that is, all the years of corporate life and all of that, and you're always on someone else's schedule, right? Your work schedule dictates everything. Having my kids in school, the school schedule dictated everything. I couldn't prioritize my day the way I wanted to. I couldn't do the things I wanted to and come and go as I please, get up when I want. I haven't set an alarm in so many years. I love it, right? Having my time, for me, it was when I was in the corporate life and doing all this stuff. And what caused us to kind of shift to being self-employed was looking at it, and I was like, we literally trade minutes of our life for money. That's what we do, right? When you're working, you're doing all the things. And again, there's a balance there. I'm not saying there isn't, but when I started going, I don't want to give away my time, right? I'm not promised tomorrow. I don't know when my last day is. Why am I giving away all my time, all my life for money? Is that really what I want? Do I really just want to get more and more and more money? Because I felt like the more we worked, the more bills we had, the more it's we still were breaking even though we were getting more and more money in our salaries, we still never had enough. And then I was like, what am I doing? Is that really what I want to do, is spend all my life just trading my time for money? I want my time. I want to decide what I want to do and when I want to get up and when I want to go to bed and, all those different things. And so being a homemaker means that my time is mine again. I'm not giving it to someone else, an employer, and then having to be subject to them to decide when my time, is used and when I get a little bit. And I don't want to have to live for the weekends and, just counting down till 5 p.m. every day. I don't want to do that. So that's reason number 2 for me. Reason number 3 for me that really is kind of part of all of this, being a homemaker means that I get to align my priorities, right? When I was having to trade my time to a boss, or do different things, it meant that I couldn't necessarily be in control of my priorities because I had to prioritize work. I had to prioritize, all these things out here that have to happen, where being a homemaker means that I go through what is right in the Lord, what is right with my husband, what's best for my family, but I get to kind of take that control of what are my priorities, right? What are those things that are really important to me? For me, things like my relationship with the Lord, my relationship with my husband, homeschooling my children, our health and nutrition, having a simple home, right? Hiking, going and doing things like this. Like, these things are important to me, and I have my time back. So, I have these things so I can say, hey, what are my priorities? I've got my time. I've got 24 hours in a day, Lord willing, each day. I can start figuring out what those priorities are and then having them, right? I get to set that. I don't have to take, well, I traded my time, so now I'm in obligation to this person. That has to be my top priority. And then I get this little bit of time over here. I can try to fit in like my obligations and responsibilities and maybe a little bit of what I want. I like getting to set my priorities for my day. That is a huge benefit for me. And leading into my 4th point, that means that I have the freedom to pursue the things that are in my best interest, that are in my husband's best interest, my children's best interest. For me, that's a huge deal. Like, I think of right now, I think this is what, kind of stood out to me, having this freedom to pursue those things. We're running into some health stuff with my husband that I've been sharing about in our blogs lately. A lot of the things that he's dealing with, yes, we're having to deal with more tests and doctors and some upcoming surgeries and things of that nature. Like, there are the serious things that have to be dealt with. But then we're learning a lot, and we're taking the things that we're finding and going, okay, diet can change this. There's herbal things that we can do. There's a lot of natural things that we can do to help the things that he's facing. I have the freedom because guess what? I am all in. Like, we're going to do this, right? Through the Lord's grace and knowledge, we're going to dig in. I've got, things going in the house and different stuff that we're making changes, but I can dedicate myself to that because I have my time, I can set my own priorities, and I have this freedom here in my home to say, this just became interest number 1 for me. That's what I'm working on, right? That's what I'm doing. And so having this freedom to truly be there, be present for yourself, right? Your own walk with the Lord, your own life, for your spouse, for your children, for those that the Lord has brought into your life is just such an invaluable thing to have. So that's reason number 4 for me. And then reason number 5, which really makes all of this worth everything, would be being a homemaker. A keeper at home. My priority being home, right? That means this is where I spend the most time. This is where I do the most work. This is where my heart and head are focused, is because it is God's will and design for my life. If you are a woman and you profess to be a follower of Christ, then He has given us very clear, simple instructions as to where our priorities are to be. And so if we want to walk in the Lord's will, I can say I love Him all day, but if I don't respond to anything He says, then where am I at? When I found this in Titus 2, right? Oops, I'm dropping all of Lily's highlighters. Sorry, Lily. In Titus 2, when we see these instructions, right, given to the church, hey, ladies, this is for you. Starting in verse 3, teach the older women to live in a way that honors God. They must not slander others or be heavy drinkers. Instead, they should teach others what is good. So older women, we're getting direct instructions, okay? These older women must train the younger women. So younger women, this is what we are to do. You profess to be a follower of Christ? Here's our marching orders. Train the younger women to love their husbands and their children. Step 1. To live wisely and be pure. To work in their homes, to do good and to be submissive to their husbands. And why do we do this? Why is this the biggest thing that makes this all work? Then they will not bring shame on the word of God. Bless you, love. I don't want to bring shame on the word of God. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Why, as a girl in church, do we not lead with this? There is such an importance to being workers at home, keepers at home, homemakers. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't ever do anything or go anywhere or any other nonsense like that, but it means that home is your priority. It's where you do the most work, where your focus is, where your heart is, where your mind and priorities and everything go towards. It means home is where I'm focused. That's where, if you're going to find me, that's where I'm going to be. And if I'm doing something else, it's in that proper alignment of priority that comes second rate to whatever I have going on in my home. And so understanding just how special and worthy that your role in your home is, whether you have children or you don't have children, whether you are married or you aren't married, if you are a woman and you profess to be a follower of Christ, your duty as a homemaker exists. Now, in different seasons and different circumstances, it's going to look different, right? My kids are a little bit older now. I do work from home and doing some things like ministry, right? But we all have our ministry, and our ministry starts at home. And so understanding that, realizing how special and important that is, and then keeping everything in that proper order, you do that, you're going to see the Lord working in your lives, because you are walking in His will, in His design for you. And that is bottom line why everything else I've said today, that's why all of it matters and why I love this topic so much and I'm so passionate about it. So those would be my top 5 reasons that I love being a homemaker, but you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below. Are you a keeper at home? Are you a homemaker? What do you love? What are, maybe your struggles or something that you would like to work toward? If you guys found any of this helpful, if you enjoy being a homemaker, please give me a thumbs up. It helps so much with this stinky YouTube algorithm. I would appreciate it so much. But of course, if you guys would like something else to watch, I think you would really enjoy this video right here. If you guys want to go watch that, feel free to subscribe and tap that little bell notification, because we have videos coming out every single day. And I will see you guys over in the collective for our spring refresh. Bye, friends.